starting with the mayor giving an update on the city's snow response, and also we should get an update on JCPS. Let's listen in.
To put this in perspective, this was the largest snowfall Louisville has seen in over 25 years. So we have to remember that this has just started 48 hours ago. So I'm pleased with where we are, but I know there's still a lot of work to do, and so we're going to keep going. I also want to thank the community. Thanks to everyone for listening, for heeding the warnings, for taking the weather forecast seriously, for taking our request to stay home and let our crews do the work seriously. That has really helped our snow team. Our Louisville Metro snow team has 110 different snow routes. That's 2,700 lane miles. And we've now covered all of those routes multiple times. So our trucks have driven over 9,000 miles in the past 2 days. That's the equivalent of driving to LA and back twice. 9,000 miles our plows and salt trucks have covered. Again, we know there's still work to do, but a lot has already been done. We've used over 25 million pounds of salt, 11,000 gallons of calcium chloride. Our snow team crews have been working for 55 hours straight at this point. They started very early Sunday morning. Thanks to every one of them for working long hours so that all of us can get moving again and the city can get back to operating the way it normally does. A few things I want to clarify before we talk about what's going on. Again, we have 110 different snow routes. You can see those online, what our routes are. We don't clear every road. Some are very small roads that don't have much traffic. I, for example, live on a city road, but it is not on the snow route. Others might have a homeowner association, but we are working to make sure that our snow routes are as clear as they can possibly be. If you have a question about whether your road is on a snow route, please check online. Or if you see a street that's on our snow route but doesn't look in good shape yet, please call 311 and let us know. We've been getting reports since the beginning, and that's really helpful for us to get folks back out there to make sure that our snow routes are all safe and passable. So please call 311 if you do see more needed attention on some of our snow routes. Now, in the past, the city would have stopped here. We would have done a couple passes on the road, and we would have said, we've cleaned up the city. But that's not the way we're going to operate while I'm mayor. We're going to keep going. And I've asked our hardworking snow team to keep going, to keep working, to keep getting the city moving back to where it wants to be even quicker. So here's what's going to happen over the next couple of days. Our snow team is going to keep working 24/7. They're going to go back to those snow routes and make sure they do cleanup, make sure the corners are okay, make sure the intersections are okay. Again, we had historic levels of snow. We haven't seen this much snow in 25 years. And so there are areas, there is so much snow, we might not even need to go and haul off some of the snow because now the sides of the road have so much snows that are building up. And we're going to do more. Again, we have 110 routes that we've already covered multiple times. But we want to help the city in even more ways and keep going. So starting about tomorrow morning, we're going to start doing additional routes. We're going to add streets that are not on our snow routes to keep plowing, to keep salting, to help more residents have their roads plowed, to help get our JCPS kids back to school quicker, to help get you to your job, to help get you to your doctor's appointment, to help our U of L and other university students get to and from their school and their place of employment even quicker. So we've been working closely with JCPS over the past 18 hours. They provided us with some routes that they could use some help on. And again, starting tomorrow morning, we're going to start doing those additional streets to help with that effort. We're also going to provide some extra assistance to the University of Louisville campus. We know there's some roads around some of our libraries and community centers and other important community assets that could use a little bit of attention. So over the next 24 hours, we're going to be doing a lot of cleanup on the existing snow routes. Again, that's making sure that we've got those 110 snow routes that have been done as well as we can get them, given what Mother Nature has thrown at us and giving these freezing cold temperatures. And then sometime mid-morning tomorrow, we're going to start adding additional routes as well. Here to talk a little bit more about JCPS and the work that they're doing and what their future looks like, we have Carolyn Callahan today from JCPS. And so I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn to give you all a little bit of an update from JCPS. Thanks for being here, Carolyn.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Kids, we hope you're enjoying your snow days. We have seen lots of fun pictures from all of you. We, though, of course, cannot wait to get our students and our staff back in our schools. Thank you so much to the mayor and to the city. This is a huge help for us. The fact that they are willing to continue working and to push even harder and to add those extra routes is huge. Side streets is one of the things that we look at when we're making determinations on whether or not we're going to be able to have school. We have more than 40,000 JCPS students who are bus riders. So they are waiting at a bus stop and they are taking their bus to and from school every morning. A lot of those bus stops are on side roads. As you can imagine, our bus stops are spread out throughout the city, throughout the county. And so we have a lot of those. So that's one of the things that we think about, not just for our students standing at those bus stops and waiting on the sidewalks and waiting for the bus to pick them up, but for our amazing bus drivers who have the job of coming and transporting our most precious cargo every day safely to and from school. We want to make sure that they can safely get to those bus stops and safely transport our students. So the fact that the mayor and the city are going to continue working and add these routes is definitely a huge help to us, and we appreciate all of that support. Some of our schools are also, their entranceways are on side roads, so that's something we think about as well. We have an incredible snow team at Jefferson County Public Schools. They have been working in 12-hour shifts throughout this storm. They are plowing, they are salting, they are making sure that everything is safe and okay at all of our campuses. We have more than 150 schools that we are checking, and we have to make sure that there is a safe entryway and an exitway at each of those buildings, plus our administrative buildings as well. Our teams have done an incredible job. One of the things that we have seen is that after the first couple of passes, we did have some water ice over again on some of our parking lots and driveways for our schools. So that's something that we're looking at as well. That goes into the decisions that we make. And we also look at temperature. We're not getting a whole lot of help from Mother Nature on the temperature front these next few days, but that's another thing that we take into consideration. Again, I cannot thank our snow team, maintenance team, operation teams enough. Some really good news that we have is that we have not had any broken pipes in our buildings, no damage to buildings from some trees that might have fallen down or damaged buildings because of all of the ice. So that's really good news. Our plant operators are at all of our buildings looking and making sure that everything is safe. We still have heat in all of our buildings as well. So those are things that all go into our decision on whether or not we will continue to have snow days or be back in school. I don't have that answer for you for Thursday yet. We do know that tomorrow is another snow day for our students and staff. We will hopefully have an answer for you tomorrow on what we're going to do on Thursday. But if not, if we cannot make that decision, as always, we tell you we will have that decision by 5 a.m. on the day of. But again, we cannot thank Mayor Greenberg and the city of Louisville and all of the workers. And thank you to the families of those workers who have given up a lot to have their spouses and their families out here doing all of this and continuing to push through and do this for the students and staff of JCPS. We truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Carolyn. Again, these are unique times given the historic level of snowfall that we got in such a short period of time on Sunday and into Monday. I want to go over a couple of areas that are also, I know, on people's mind and impacting the way people get around safely across our entire city as well. First is sidewalks. Sidewalks are the responsibility of the property owner. So if you live in a home, if you own a business that has a sidewalk, please help your neighbors and clear that sidewalk. That will do tremendous amount of help. If you rent in a building, please call the owner if the sidewalks in the building in front of you, your place where you rent, are not yet clear. It is the owner's responsibility of the property to clear the sidewalk. So please do that. We know that given the amount of snow, when we've plowed, that we've blocked some driveways. We've There's been a lot of snow around some cars that were parked on the street. Some of the cleanup work that I mentioned that we're now going to be doing over the next 24 hours is to help alleviate some of those issues where snow has been plowed up extremely high. So we're going to try to get to as much of that as we can. But if there's some that you think you can help out on your own property, please try to help us out or help a neighbor out here if there's some clearing off that you can do. And also, if you do see some areas like that, or if your driveway, for example, is blocked in on a snow route, again, call 311 and let us know. That's the best way to get our snow team back out to do the cleanup work that we know. But if you can help out, if you can help a neighbor, please do. We've seen great examples of neighbors helping neighbors over the past couple of days, just as we always do in Louisville. And I hope that continues over the coming days ahead. And also, if you're venturing out and you're getting ready to drive and your car's been parked outside, please wipe off the snow from your hood and the roof of your car as well. I was out before 6 a.m. this morning with our car and doing that on the roof. You know, it had a lot of ice, a lot of snow. And Kelly from Emergency Management has reported that we've had some calls of some issues with snow and ice when people are driving on the roadways and that ice and snow comes off. It can hit another car. It can hit another pedestrian. It can add ice to the roadway. So please, before you drive, exercise caution. And again, our snow team is going to keep working 24/7 to continue to make improvements. Now for some other updates. TARC. TARC has 6 of its busiest routes are in normal operation on normal schedule right now. Some of the other routes are running at a reduced rate right now. For the updates on TARC, please visit their website or look at their social media updates. TARC 3 is operational, but is having some delays as a result of the weather conditions and the roads. Our airport is operating well right now. Again, airlines might have some issues based on other parts of the city, but our airport, the airfield, is open. So if you're flying, check your airline for the latest on that. And as Carolyn said, you know, I know school's going to be off for a few days here through at least Wednesday, and other, not just JCPS parents, are at home with their kids as well, and might be going a little bit stir crazy. They might be getting a little bit impatient. The kids want to go outside. Hopefully they can enjoy the snow a little bit. But I wanted to also just provide some other things that we encourage families to explore the rest of the day today or tomorrow as well when they might be home from school. First, our public library. Our libraries are open if you can safely make it there. But also our library has access to free stream movies and other shows through the Louisville Free Public Library system. We're going to post that link on our social media channels. If you visit the library's website as well, you can see how if you would like to stream some movies or shows and don't have your own streaming services, you can use the Louisville Free Public Library for that. Our community centers are open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Our Mary T. Maher Aquatic Center is open 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. We have 5 sledding hills that we've encouraged people to use in our parks. The Louisville Zoo is going to be open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And they're offering discounted admission with a canned good over the next couple of days. Again, the zoo is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Speed Art Museum is going to be back open tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. Slugger Museum is open today and tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 5. Kentucky Science Center will be back open tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. So hopefully those are a few things that maybe give your family an opportunity to get out and about while we're waiting for schools to reopen. All of that you can find out with a lot of more information in line. Again, we're going to keep working through this whole thing. The weather is going to continue to remain cold, so please stay warm. Stay informed for the latest information. You can follow us on social media. We're posting as much as we can to keep the entire city informed. Thank you for heeding our warnings, and we're going to continue at this, get the city back going again. Thank you so much for all your cooperation. Thanks again to our snow team. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions from members of the media.
Mayor Greenberg, you mentioned some of the routes that will be cleared with these students. Do you know about how many routes or how parents can find out if their street will be one that's getting plowed?
Yeah, to our knowledge, the city has not done this before. We've got our snow routes. We've published those. And literally, it was yesterday during my press conference that I started to have this idea about once we do what we've done on our snow routes, knowing the historic level of snowfalls, can we keep going? So we reached out to JCPS yesterday afternoon. We're working on all of that right now. We don't have a published routes, so people will see that. JCPS is going to be monitoring that to make their decision for Thursday. That's part of their decision, of course, but that is their decision, rather, as to what happens on Thursday. But we're going to try to get to as many as we can to support JCPS and other community institutions.
Carolyn, do you foresee the school year being extended because of the traditional snow days, especially because of the end of the week?
At this point, so we have 5 days that are built into our calendar that can be forgiven by the board. So we used one of those days back on September 27th when we did not have school because of the impact of the hurricane that hit our area. So we have used 3 now. So we will still have another that we can bring to the board to forgive as well. And the likelihood is high that they would forgive those days. So right now, today, as I stand here, there would be no change to the school calendar.
Also, following up on that, I know you had mentioned that back roads are very important before you guys open again. How much do the sidewalks do to play a role, though? Because I can imagine if students are walking to school and the sidewalks, even though that's not the city's responsibility per se, if it is icy, I mean, is that a consideration as well before you guys reopen? Or?
Sure. So I just want to repeat the question so everyone can hear it. He's asking the condition of sidewalks, if that's a consideration. Those are not the responsibility of the city or the responsibility of JCPS. Homeowners and business owners, it's the responsibility of the sidewalks. So yes, that is absolutely a consideration that we take. We would love it if you live near a JCPS bus stop and you know that you have kids who will be waiting out there for bus stop. If you will shovel and put some salt down on those areas as well. Yes, we look at that. So we shovel all of the sidewalks on our property at our schools. We're doing all of that. Our plant operators have all of the materials that they need for that. But yes, absolutely, we look at sidewalks as well. Our teams have been driving around the area to monitor that as well.
Carolyn, for students that are eligible for free reduced lunch, which is all students, but the ones that you provide meals for, have you guys been able to do anything for them the last couple of days when they're supposed to be in school but are not? And do you have a plan moving forward?
We have not. We do not have any meal sites open at this time.
Will you possibly be able to open those up?
We do not anticipate opening any this week.
Mayor Greenberg, does the city have the resources to cover all school bus routes?
The question was, does the city have the resources to cover all school bus routes? Right now, we're going to keep going. We do have the resources to continue. We have salt that's still available. As I mentioned, we've used 25 million pounds already as we have 4 salt domes plus underground storage. So we have the ability. Our snow team has been working literally round the clock in 12-hour shifts. We can keep doing this for a few more days to help out.
Well, I'm hearing this a lot from people who are digging their cars out today. Why won't the city plow my street? So if somebody's living on a school bus route, what are the chances are that the city will plow their street?
Yeah. So again, we're going to go on the priority routes based on JCPS's need, how quickly we can get to them. There are other institutions that we're trying to help out as well, like U of L, that could use a little bit of assistance to get them back open, again, to our libraries and community centers. So we have been working. This is actually one of the questions that I had to our snow team, and we're going to work on. I'm always looking to improve. As mayor, I think my job is to continuously push our team to find ways to improve. We have 110 routes covering 2,700 lane miles. But again, yesterday I asked the question, why are those the routes that we have? We're going to be looking at, are those still the right routes? Before our next storm event, should we change those routes based on where populations has moved over the last several years? It is moving based on where all JCPS do. So that's something that we'll evaluate, but we were prepared to cover the routes that we did. I'm pleased with the progress that we've made. We know we still have some work to do. We're going to continue to, and we're going to try to get to as many streets throughout the entire county as we can over the coming days.
Mayor, just speaking on that, as far as changes are concerned, there are some pretty heavily traveled side roads in West Louisville, and we've talked with folks who say there are truck buses that actually go through these side roads. Is there a consideration in expanding in some areas of West Louisville as well?
Well, again, that would be on based on JCPS route. TARC is one of those important assets too. So we are in conversations with TARC about what their routes are and where else do we need to. So we're looking at all those things once tomorrow morning comes and we can start adding more streets. We're going to be looking at that as well. But, we're going to give some priority to some of JCPS's priority needs as we're adding streets. Again, this is new. The city has not done this before. Historically, the city has stopped when they've covered their routes. This is a historic snowfall. I think we should continue to provide even more services to our taxpayers. So we're going to keep going. We're going to get to as many streets as we can, and we'll keep going for as long as we can with the team and the resources that we have available.
Given some of those in West Louisville, though, do you deserve maybe a look at maybe some route prioritization because of the population there and maybe some of the resources they haven't historically?
Yeah, I think that we need to look candidly at the entire county. We need to look at the snow routes before the next storm and look at the entire county about where we're serving. And do we need to add more? Is 110 the right number? Do we need to add more and know that it's going to take a little bit longer to cover all of the routes? Or do we need to change some? So that's why were the decisions made to create the snow routes that we have today? I can't answer you that question, and I'm not sure anyone that works for city government can, because it sort of has evolved over time. So we're going to take a new, fresh look at that. And of course, West Louisville will be right in there. We've responded this morning to questions from West Louisville about some concerns about some roads there. I believe we're addressing those right now, just as we have in other parts from the south and the east. We have definitely received feedback on certain roads that have not been treated. But again, overall, I'm incredibly pleased with the progress that we've made, given the historic level of snowfall that we've had.
When will residents be able to find out if their street is going to be added to this second?
Yeah, given how quickly our priority is on getting as many streets plowed as quickly as possible. So I'm not sure yet that we're going to be able to publish that until after we've done it. We're working in real time here to clear even more streets, given this historic level of snow that we've never done before.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you all. We'll continue to provide information, and thanks to the entire city. Stay warm and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cal. Take care.
All right, folks, thanks so much for staying with us. As you heard from the mayor and Carolyn Callahan from JCPS giving an update on the winter weather that's impacted our area. The mayor said that they are very appreciative of all the work that the snow plow crews have been doing, all of our first responders, et cetera, those working to restore power. They're going to be expanding their cleanup efforts to folks in the side streets area, which is continuing to be a major issue. So for JCPS, the big question is, when are they going to go back to school? So we already knew that school was called off for tomorrow. The question is about Thursday. So we don't know yet. JCPS says that we should know hopefully soon, but we already do not have school tomorrow for Wednesday. But the question is, are they going to be going back on Thursday? And we also know that we're going to get some more snow on Friday. So we shall see. So that's the big thing. If you are a TARC user, go to TARC's website to see the very latest on their routes that they're taking. With JCPS, the good news is no broken pipes. They have 40,000 students to serve in our area. So a lot of things go into play when it comes to deciding if they're going to be in session or not. For kids who have to wait outside in the bus stop, are those areas cleaned up, and how cold is it going to be? So a lot to weigh in. So we're going to look into this more. You heard David Mattingly ask a question at the press conference. He's going to have the very latest coming up on Wave News today. And I will see you on Wave News at 3 o'clock, and we'll have more from the press conference. Have a great day.